Hi, my name is Habiba and welcome to another exciting segment of Viva's Canadian Journey. If this is your first time of watching, thank you so much for watching and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to increase your points and how to improve your chances of relocating to Canada as a skilled worker. And when I talk about how to increase your points, most people might be thinking I'm just referring to how to increase your points at the federal level. But the truth is, once you increase your points at the federal level, there's a 9 out of 10 chance that your points will also be increased at the provincial nomination level, okay? So this is, even if right now your focus is on provinces, this is also for you and this is really going to help out. So let's get started. As we all know, I've said this several times, the competition is getting tougher. A lot of people are looking to relocate to Canada with what is happening around the world. Everybody is, people are looking at coming to Canada and relocating as skilled workers. Okay, so the competition is getting really fierce. The other day I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who also relocated to Canada last year, and I was telling her that if the points right now, the express level, the 470 plus points that is needed to receive an invitation to apply, if at the time when we were thinking of relocating, the points were also 470, we would not have been eligible. Okay, so just look at the difference a year has made. So it's really, really getting tough. But that is not the end of the world. There are other streams and there are things you can do to increase your points and improve your chances. I have categorized this into short term, medium to long term, and long term. Okay, so let's start with the short term. When I say short term because this can be done in 0 to 3 or 4 months. Okay, and I have a success story to share. Okay, so the first short term point is to retake your language proficiency exam, to retake your IELTS. I'm not going to say so much about this because I talked about this in my previous segment, and if you're yet to watch it, it's called IELTS 101. Please, you can go back, you can subscribe and go back and watch it. This is really going to help you. Okay, in that video I explained the different scores or points you get for the different bands. So last month, October, a lady contacted me via Instagram and she wanted to find out my take, what she and her husband should do. They had created an express entry profile and they were sitting in the express entry pool with 460s. They were in the 460 range. Both of them had taken the IELTS, both of them had masters, and a young couple. And they had both taken the IELTS with a band 8. Okay, and she was asking me what to do because they wanted to receive an invitation to apply at the federal level. Now, I would have suggested looking at provincial nominations, but because they just needed a few points, 10 to 12 points, to hit that 470, grouping for them to get an invitation to apply, my suggestion to them was both the supporting and the main applicant should retake the IELTS exam and both of them should aim for a band 10. Okay, she was a bit hesitant at first, but they both retook the exam, and just 2 days ago they actually received an invitation to apply at the federal level. Okay, so like I said, this is a short term. This is something you can do in 0 to 4 months, and if this is you're sitting in the pool and you just need a few more points to get to where you need to get to receive an invitation to apply, okay, then retaking the IELTS exam and aiming for band 9 or 10 should be your first option. Getting a band 10, it's possible, it's doable. I did it on my 3rd attempt. Okay, so I can tell you this is not theory, it is doable. Okay, the second option also comes with a lovely success story that I'm going to share with you, and that option is a medium to long-term option. When I say medium to long-term, it's because it can take anywhere from 6 to 12 months to do, and that option is for you to learn French as a second language. Now, before I explain the points associated with this, let me give you this story. True story, real life. In March, I think it was March or April, a friend of mine in Nigeria introduced me to this person I'm about to talk about. And this person, he was in the process of, coming to Canada. He wanted to relocate to Canada as a skilled worker. He had written the exams, he had created an express entry profile, and he was sitting in the pool with, I think it was 405 or 407 points, okay? He's 35 years old, and he had a bachelor's, a BSc, and he had written the IELTS twice with a band 8, and was sitting in the pool with 405 or 7 points. So when we spoke, I immediately said, okay, let's start looking at provincial nomination programs, okay? And when he figured out his NOC was one of those NOCs that, a funny NOC, was not in demand in a lot of provinces, not in Nova Scotia, not in Saskatchewan. In fact, I was so surprised I was not even in demand in Saskatchewan, because Saskatchewan is one of those provinces that have a lot of NOCs in demand. It was not in demand in Manitoba, quite a number of provinces. And we had to go back to the drawing board, and I was just racking my head, and after a while I'm thinking, what is this person going to do? So I started asking questions and doing some research, and so I came across one of the provincial nomination programs in Ontario, which is a French stream, where once in a while they invite people who are bilingual or who have French to apply. And so I suggested to this 35-year-old person that, listen, I think your best option right now is to consider learning French. And not just learning French, but learning to take and pass the exam to a good level. He was quite hesitant, which is understandable. And honestly, when I was making the suggestion known to him, I didn't think he was going to take it. I did not. A couple of days later, he contacted me and said he had registered in Alliance Française and he was going to start taking the classes, and he was serious. I was genuinely shocked and surprised. Okay, so I just assumed he started taking the classes. Early October, he contacted me so excited that he had taken the classes, taken the tests, the exam, I think is the test evaluation français, TEF or something like that, and he had gotten a band 7. Honestly, I was shocked because I didn't think he was going to go through. I can't imagine myself learning a new language from scratch. That takes a lot of determination. Okay, so he had learned it. In fact, he told me that colleagues and friends actually thought he was crazy. Okay, he said at one point in time he had changed the language setting on his phone to French because this is how determined he was, and he got a band 7. Now, a band 7, I think, only got him about 12 or 15 points. But like I said, we were not going for increased points. Okay, he was going for provincial nomination to show that he's bilingual or he has some French experience. So that's what we're going for. So I told him, I said, we're going to start looking at the Ontario French stream. And that's what we actually started looking at it. Only for him to contact me some weeks ago and say, is it true what he heard? IRCC had revamped the express entry scoring, the pattern they usually use, and there were more points for people who were bilingual. I said, this is what I'm reading, this is what I've heard, but let's keep looking at it. A couple of days later, he called me and he said his profile had been updated and his scores had been pushed up. So I think 471 or 472. Long story short, last Wednesday, he got an invitation to apply. So let me explain how the points work. Prior to this revamp by IRCC, you get, I think, a maximum of, 15 or 20 points for a second language. Like I said, we're not going for points. We were going for the nomination via the French stream. But now things have changed, okay? So now, if you've taken your first language, IELTS, so let's say for this dude, he had taken his first language, English, he took the IELTS, and he got over a CLB 7. Did the French test, practice, took classes, did the French test, and got a CLB 7. So what he got now was he's got points for that CLB 7, and then he gets a bonus point of 50 dash bonus to say well done for being bilingual. So he got the 50 points in addition to the points he got for French. For the exam he took, he got an extra 50 points, and he got his invitation to apply. This really shocked me. I didn't see it coming at all. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, if you are in the pool, your chances are really low. Please, if you can, try and learn French and take. I didn't think it was possible, but right now French seems to be the ticket to Canada, because there is 74 points for grabs, depending on the CLB you get, but you need to get more than a CLB 7. There's 24 points, right? Then you now get the 50 extra as dash on top of that, but you only get this 50 extra if you get up to a CLB 7. Emphasis on CLB 7. Okay, it is doable. What that just showed me is that anyone that puts their mind to do something, they will do it. Nothing is impossible. Learning a new skill is not impossible. This guy told me, he said the last time he did French was in primary school, but how he puts I don't know. He said he started watching French movies. Or when he's trying to watch something, he will change the language setting to be in French. I did not believe it. Now, I told him, I said, listen, kudos and well done. And I'm going to tell you this, that the good thing about learning French when you're coming to Canada is that French is not, don't just look at it as it is for you to get, a points to come to Canada. Yes, that one is there. But in Canada, as if you come here bilingual and you know some French, it's to your advantage. When I was working in the bank, the bilingual staff, the bilingual reps were paid more than us who we just spoke English. That's the truth. There are more jobs here for people who are bilingual, okay, and have French as a second language. French doesn't have to be your second language if you're bilingual. Yes, English is your main language, but if you can discuss in French, your prospects of getting jobs are higher, okay? Also, if you want to get like a good government jobs, if you watch the premiers, the ministers here in Canada, when they're giving a speech, they will do it in French or in English. Immediately they're done, they'll switch to English, to French, no translator. So to improve your chances improve your chances in the job market, okay, it's beneficial to you. A lot of immigrants here that I know are also taking French classes. Immigrants here in Canada are taking French classes because they've come to realize the importance. People are putting their children in French immersion schools because really that's where Canada is going. Okay, so French, there's 74 points for grabs if you get a CLB 7 and above, and it will also help you when you come here. So something to consider, okay? The third one, I'm gonna call it long term, is getting another degree. Okay, long term in the sense that realistic, it could take you 12 to 18 months, so 1 year to a year and a half, getting another degree. Okay, so if you have a high school diploma, right, in the express entry profile, you get 30 points for education with a high school diploma. Okay, so that's your SSC or your WIEC. But then if you go further and get a 1 year accredited diploma or certificate from a polytechnic or a college, you get 90 points now for education. So that's 60 extra points from just having a high school diploma to having a 1 year diploma. If you have a bachelor's in the express entry pool, you have 120 points, okay? Now, if you decide to go and do a 1 year course and you get a master, this is to go and do a master's, you get an extra 15 points for having that master. So a master's is 125 points. Okay, so you're giving yourself 15 points. So depending on where you are in the pool, okay, and depending on your level of education, an extra year spent doing an online course, okay, just make sure the course is accredited, the school is legit. And right now you don't even have to do it in Canada. You can do it in the comfort of your home, because the way it is, most universities and colleges are now offering courses online because of because of the pandemic. Okay, so if you give yourself 1 year, 12 to 18 months, you can get extra points depending on where you're sitting in the pool, or depending on your educational qualifications. Okay, so this is also a good option. Now, just a caveat and something for you to bear in mind: if you're in the express entry pool and you decide to take on any of this medium to long-term options, okay, that will probably take you over a year to do, bear in mind that if you're over 29 and you're in the pool, you know that with every birthday that passes while you're in the pool, before you receive an invitation to apply, you will lose 5 points. So for example, if what you need is 15 points and you have a bachelor's, and then you tell yourself, I'm going to give myself a year to do a master's, yes, at the end of that master's, you'll get 15 points. However, at the end of that master's, after a year, if your birthday has come, you're going to lose another 5 points. So all you're going to be gaining is 10 points. So please, while doing this, put that at the back of your mind. The final option is for married couples. If you're coming to Canada with your spouse, okay, the general rule of thumb is, if you're coming with your spouse, and you're thinking of creating an express entry pool, there should be a main applicant and then the supporting applicant. Now, the main applicant should be the person that can get you the highest number of points. Now, that hasn't changed. However, there's an option, okay, and I call this widening your option, casting your bread upon many waters. There's an option for the couple to create different express entry profiles. This is legal, okay? So if both of you have different NOCs, if both of you have the same NOCs, there's no need to open a different profile. But if both of you have the different NOCs, okay, you can create different profiles. Now, the whole point of this is to target provinces that are looking for your different NOCs in demand. So for example, if one person's NOC is in nursing and another one is in teaching, there'll be a province that's probably looking for nurses that is not looking for teachers, or vice versa. So the whole point is, to widen, give you a better option. However, as soon as one person's profile, for instance, you get a nomination from any province, as soon as one profile gets a nomination from any province, the other person should immediately and quickly close their profile, okay? So the reason you're doing this is just widening your option. It is legal, you can do it, it is legit, but this is just to give you a better chance, because right now the competition is really, really tough. Okay, so these are just a few options on how to improve your score, thereby increasing your chances of relocating to Canada as skilled workers. Okay, I hope this segment has been really helpful. My number one, out of all these options, my number one will be to learn French, because there's 74 points for grabs, and honestly, it will help you if you can do it when you come to Canada. Until next time, do take care. Hi, my name is Habiba.